want to hesitate saying. This is when two high priestesses play. That's when soul claims the sisters play. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Okay. All right. So anyway, okay, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay,
is he ready now? Are you ready now, Ade?
No, he has to wait. We have to finish, so he has to wait on us now. Okay, so tomorrow, Thursday.
Scorpio. Yeah.
October, Scorpio, thank you very much.
You're done. So?
Amatera Sue. She's on our
Beauty. Ooh, you got her at the throat?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Hot.
It took me a while to place her there, but when I placed her there and we journeyed together, it was like, oh yeah, she just fits right there.
You know, Thursday, well, Oshun belongs on a lot of days, but I agree with everybody else that Oshun feels right to me on Thursday.
Well, and Hathor sits right next to that, right next to her too. So that triangle is beautiful there.
Oh my God! Can you take a picture of your card for me?
Well, I don't have Oshun sitting up there, but I should put her up there.
Yeah, she doesn't like to be ignored.
Okay, I will put her up there and take a picture for you.
Thank you. Okay.
So Friday, then, we have Kuan Yin, which is interesting because Kuan Yin is also associated with Venus and Aphrodite. And what day is Friday? Venus.
Oh, Friday is Shango! For me.
And Freya, too.
Sexuality. Well, that would make sense. He's like, who do you call that? Who's this? Bacchus? This is what I just saw. Bacchus. Isn't that the naughty god for the Romans?
If you're asking me, I don't know.
I'm going to fight you. You're going to have to make me Google. But I really think, yes. He's the god of wine and pleasure and cutting up. I think they took his image and turned him to the devil.
No, we don't want to. I don't even want to go on that topic right now.
We don't have to, but you know what? That's the connection of Pan, too.
Yes, always turned around and twisted by, yes.
And, you know.
I organized religion there, I said it.
Proud of you. So, humanity then started from Africa, right? We agree on that, right?
Are you asking me? I'm
asking you.
I don't have a take one way or another where it originated from.
Well, then let me hook you up real quick. It's the motherland. All life starts in the motherland, okay? So,
well, if you're going to go that far back, then I would say Atlantis, and Africa was part of Atlantis.
Fine, then. Bring your little mermaids and stuff in. I don't care.
Hey, no, I don't associate Atlantis with mermaids. To me, that's associate it? To me, Atlantis was very metaphysical, very powerful, very euphoric, very much where we're going.
This is true.
To me, it's a healing. To me, it was all about the natural healing, the natural gifts, our natural way of being.
But my point is, though,
that
those stories and myths come from the motherland and from, remember you telling a story about when Atlantis was, being submerged and they, took a journey in the story.
And the high priestesses and priests left, yes. They went to Africa and then to Egypt.
Okay, so then the story got kicked back to Europe, and they made the gods look like them. So Shango and all of those other ones turned into those gods, Bacchus, and then we had Pan, and then, of course, the devil. You're catching is our Sunday morning talk. We didn't really have a Sunday morning talk, did we, baby?
No, because we kept things the same, but remember we were both so thrown off on Sunday and Monday that something just didn't feel right, and that's when
the running energy
came up, and that's when we changed it.
Because today was the day you said to me, welcome back, sister.
Yeah, and that's because Venus went direct today.
Hello! Good to be back. Jesus. Those last 2 days was hell. But anyway, let's
No,
get back
those
to
last few days really were. Okay, so, Konya, your story. Go ahead and finish your story.
Well, what I'm saying is, what I see is a direct connection between when the stories went back, because, I believe that every culture and every people are going to have to find something that looks like them. I'm not trying to make it a black or white thing, but the reality is that the energy that's flowing underneath the Bacchus and the Pan, and then the connection with Peter Pan, the childhood story, you still have Peter, and I think Peter means rock, right? Or is it wood? I can't remember. Is Peter the rock of the church?
The rock.
Yeah, okay. So Peter means rock, right? And then Pan is connected to this god that is connected to muses and fairies and sexual stuff and out in nature.
Yeah, but Pan is also connected with wood, too, with the earth, with the green men.
See, that's the wood and the rock coming together, the earth element. And that story, even though, people didn't mean it that way, but the name Peter Pan for me was always the marriage between Christianity or the rock, stability, foundation, and then getting in touch with nature. But if you see it in a very literal way, you won't catch what's underneath. So in some ways, for me, Peter Pan is a healing of the Pan energy that's found in that fairy tale, except what happened was it was separated, and Pan, if you say Pan to anybody, they're going to be like, oh, you worship the devil, instead of going out in nature or being pagan. It's like, oh, you dancing with the devil, you even having this conversation, you going to hell, girl.
Well, even I still now, after all this time, sometimes have an issue with that. It's really silly that I do, but it was my upbringing. And
right.
it took me a long time to be able to blend the God energy with the goddess energy, because a lot of the God energy is all negative like that.
Yeah, negative toward the feminine energy coming in. Because Peter Pan, those are little boys. Wendy, the girl in the story, is the feminine, but even she betrays him in the end. Doesn't want him to take her children out to face adventure, imagination. So there's all of these pieces from Atlantis to these stories and myths that come from the motherland, going back to Europe, and then being fed to us, is really about this connection. Because if you could look at the energy behind Bacchus and Pan, and I say to you, girl, he reminds me of Shango. Shango ain't the devil to me. But that's the foundational root. Now you take it one step underneath and bring in Atlantis. And I'm with you on that something happened and the stories were told. But Western culture doesn't really know how to accept that. And since and then they're going to bring in the separation of body and spirit. And what I'm really trying to figure out with UHP is how do we take those things, make it simple, because people are getting, look, I'm not trying to talk about people, but I'm just saying, we have a hunger for these stories, How can we kick it to them in a way that they can get it and play with it and use it to empower themselves and bring the pieces together? That's why I love fairy tales so much.
But I think you just did that.
You think so?
I'm sitting here with my mouth open, shaking my head, like, yeah. Because I tell you so many times, that's one of the things I love the most about you is your ability to storytell. That's why we called it Garden of the Goddess, and that's why we're calling it StoryTime. I've shared that with you before. I have this total vision of this whole big circle around you. And everybody's just sitting there very attentive and very much in awe because you bring it to life. I have never been exposed to the culture that you have. My culture has been Atlantis, and my culture has been Celtic. And Mary Magdalene and that whole journey there. That is my exposure. So to have you be able to share the stories that you have where I can, in my own mind, connect them with the stories that I have, it really brings them to life. I really get that connection and go, oh, like today, we were coming back from the doctor's office. All around the mountain ranges, there's all these beautiful cinderheads, and I'm like, they didn't come.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Arizona. What can I do?
You know, but I would never have had that before. So I think just by showing up, you know, as we do on Sunday morning, and we talk, and sitting in the garden, you know, where people can come to in the garden and ask questions and be curious and feel safe enough to ask those questions, because sometimes, you know, we've been conditioned to believe that we shouldn't ask that question. We shouldn't even want to know that information.
I just heard something.
What?
I just heard to ask you. I threw out through a box that I believe that every woman has a fairy tale. Mine is Cinderella. Which one is yours? The one that you watched, the one that speaks to your heart.